Assalamu alaikum, dear students. How are you? Hope you are safe and sound. I am also fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. Dear students of class 7, in the last class we discussed Sustainable Development Goal, that is chapter 13, which is included in the half-yearly examination. Today I am going to discuss on chapter 9. It is also included in the half-yearly examination. So dear students, let's begin today's class. Basically chapter 9 of BGS of class 7 includes rights of senior citizen and the women in our society. Today I am going to discuss on the rights of senior citizen. This lesson includes the problems of senior citizen, rights of senior citizen, and some welfare activities for the senior citizens in Bangladesh. So dear students, keep your textbook open and take copy to write something. Okay student, let's start today's class. Lesson 1 includes concept of rights of the senior citizen and their rights. Dear students, you know the age of service holder in Bangladesh is usually 59. Age of retirement of the service holder in service holders in Bangladesh is usually 59, but the age for the retirement for the justice 67, while university teacher and other professionals 62, 65, but the normal age range of senior citizens in our country or in other countries of the world is fixed up 60 or more than 60, that is 65. That is the people who are above 60 or 65, they are called senior citizens. They face a lot of problem in the society, in our society. So first of all, I like to discuss the rights of the senior citizen in our country. Rights of senior citizens. The rights that are determined in the independence of senior citizens are given below. Point 1, right to get sufficient food, drinks, shelter, clothes and medical care. Point 2, right to work or earn for themselves. Point 3, right to decide when to retire from physical labor. Next point, right to live in a safe and sound environment according to their own will and adaptability. Next point, right to get suitable education and training. And last of all, right to live along with family at home. These are the rights that senior citizen is given for their independence in our society. I repeat, right to get sufficient food, drinks, shelter, clothes, medical care. Point 2, right to work or earn for themselves. Point 3, right to decide when to retire from physical labor. Point 4, right to live in a safe and sound environment according to own will and adaptability. Point 5, right to get suitable education and training. And point 6, right to live along with family member at home. Now, right to participate. The rights of participation for the senior citizens are: right to participate actively in various policy making and implementation process. Point 2, right to participate in social welfare activities according to their health and ability. And point 3, right to organization and participation in movement. these rights are given, should be given to the senior citizen in our society. First of all, right to participate actively in various policy making and implementation, because they are learners, they are experienced, they are knowledgeable. We should use them in different purpose. Right to participate in social activities according to health and ability. If they are healthy and if they have ability, they can participate in the social welfare activities. And last of all, right to organization and participation in movement. If they want to participate in any movement against corruption, disparity, injustice, they have do the same according to their ability and will. Then right to care. Right to care. There are some rights to care for the senior citizens. They are right to care from family and society and subsistence, right to medical facility in regard to physical, psychological and emotional health. Next point, right to social and judicial access in order to ensure individuality and care. Right to live in human and safe condition, rehabilitation, all cares related to social and mental joys. Right to dignity, reverence and enjoyment of all basic human rights and freedom for those who live in shelters and care or treatment facilities. That is, some of the senior citizens have to stay in the old home care, old care, because they are deprived of the rights. Their family members send them to other centers. That's why they have to stay there. But if they have to stay there, they must enjoy all kinds of human and civic rights in that places. And last of all, right to decision in regards of taking proper support from the above center care. That is, if they have to stay in the shelters or other places, they must be given their due rights. Apart from these, the senior citizens enjoy some other rights that ensure their flourishing. The flourishing points for them are right to full flourishing of their talent. If they are educated, if they are knowledgeable, they should be given opportunities so that they can flourish their talent and experience and knowledge. Then right to access educational, cultural, spiritual and recreational activities and access to their own properties. That is, they have right to participate in educational activities, cultural program, spiritual and recreational activities. Then right to beautiful place. Right to a beautiful place for free from physical and psychological torments. That is, they have to stay in a place where there is no physical problem and they will not suffer from psychological torment, psychological injustice. Then right to give a good behavior from all, irrespective of age, gender, religion and race. That is, all kinds of misbehavior, they should not be endured. And last of all, right to get respect and value from contributing to economy. These are the rights the senior citizen should be given and should enjoy in our society. Dear student, in lesson 1 we have discussed some rights of the senior citizens, what they should be given, what they shouldn't be endured, etc. But in lesson 2 we will discuss the problems of the senior citizen they have to face in different sectors, in different arena of their life. First of all, the problems are, that is, they have to face 5 problems: familial problems, economic problem, physical problem, socio-cultural problem and psychological problem. Now I like to discuss familial problem. Once in our country, families were extended family, that is joint or extended family. At that time, senior citizen had a kind of authority or their role in families. But due to urbanization, industrialization, and changes in our economic activities, most of the family in city are broken into nuclear small family. In that family, only parents and their children, unmarried children, stay. But the senior citizens, as like grandparents, have no scope for staying in this family. As a result, they have to face different problems in after the retirement in the family. If the grandparents or senior or retired parents have to stay in the family in urban areas, they live in a subdued life. That is, they lived in a controlled life. They are not properly looked after or taken care of during their illness, during their sickness. They do not get company or somebody to talk, to pass the time with joy or enjoyment. Consequently, they fall prey to loneliness and melancholy. In many cases, the working parents, senior citizens, have to take care of their children, raise them to school, do shopping, and carry out daily chores, etc. That is, if the senior citizens are kept in the family in the urban area or in the village area, they have to do different kinds of work which are imposed on them without their will and wish. Now, point 2, economic problem. Senior citizens suffer from financial problem as they do not have earning, and their savings and properties they have already used for their children, for the family members. They become dependent on their children. As a result, they become very helpless and destitute in the family. They cannot do anything of their own because they don't have money. The situation is more serious in poor and middle class family. The senior citizens become moneyless before they reach old age and spend all the money for running family, paying for educational and marriage of their children, etc. Some of them are made penniless by natural disaster like flood, tidal waves, river erosion, etc. In this way, they cannot care for their parent, that the family where there is no sufficient income or solvency. In that family, the senior citizens are neglected because they don't get 2 square meal in a day, or they don't have sufficient money to look after the old parents. Point 3, physical problem. People start to lose physical strength as they grow old. As you are growing old, your physical strength will lose. Various diseases strike their body. They need a bit of rest and comfort, but most of the elderly people of our country do not get comfort and leisure. They do not get even proper medical facilities in their sickness, in their illness. They do not have ability to purchase proper medicine and die during their illness. Due to lack of care, due to financial problem, most of the senior citizen, most of the retired citizen have to face a physical hazard, physical problem without treatment, without medicine. Point 4, socio-cultural problem. Nowadays, older reverence, respect and importance paid towards the senior citizens, and their opinions are no more noticeable in our society. That is, in most cases, the senior citizens are neglected because a number of causes which are prevailing in our society. There is degradation of social values in our society, lack of moral education, influence of foreign culture, selfish attitude, etc., are responsible for the negligence to the senior citizens in our society. Families and society tend to show disregard to them. That is, both the family and society don't show proper respect to the senior citizen. As a result, in socio-cultural arena, they are neglected. They hardly have any scope for recreation and leisure, if though they have ability and wish. Last of all, psychological problem. In our present society, the senior citizen suffer psychological or mental problem due to complex life, due to loneliness, due to neglect from the family members. They start to feel neglected and hopeless in the helpless in the family. Both they are neglected, helpless, and hopeless. Lack of own support and ability added with physical sickness and loneliness increase for this inferiority complex. That is, they suffer from inferiority complex. As a result, their sickness, their physical weakness increase day by day. Loss of money at old age also make it more complex for them. That is, these are the 5 problems the senior citizen face in our society. Point 1, familial problem. They are neglected in a family. Most of time they are used for different household activities. Economic problem, they don't have money, that's why they are dependent on their children. Then physical problem, and they are growing old people, they are aged people, their physical strength lose day by day, that's why they suffer from physical problem. Social cultural problem, in the social arena, cultural arena, they are neglected, they are not given due attention, they are not given due privilege in the participation of socio-cultural activities. Last of all, psychological problem, they don't have company, and they don't have any person to talk. As a result, they feel melancholy, loneliness, and this will turn into psychological or mental problem for them. And lesson 3, welfare program for senior citizens. We have learned some problem the senior citizen have to face in our society, but we have to overcome this problem. There are 2 solutions to welfare program for the senior citizen in our country. One, non-government. First is the non-government programs. Second is the government programs. In the non-government programs, some organizations have already come forward to mitigate the problems of the senior citizens. Among them, Probin Hitoishi Sangho or Jora Bigyan organization, they have come forward to mitigate the problems of the senior citizen in our country. Bangladesh retired government employees welfare organizations also came forward to mitigate the problems of the senior citizen. Now, government programs. Bangladesh government have taken a lot of program for the smooth living of the senior citizen after their retirement. Point 1, there are three facilities from the government side for the senior citizens are recognized in our country. Point 1, pension allowance. After retirement, most of the senior citizens are given handsome pension allowance so that they can lead their future life in sound and happy life. Point 2, allowance for the senior citizens. Bangladesh government have also give some facilities for the senior citizens in our society. Among them, for the neglected poor elderly or the rural areas come under net. 10 elderly people, minimum age of 57 of each ward, each village under a union are awarded 100 taka per month as elderly allowance. They are selected on the basis of their helplessness and age. 50% of them are women. That is, in our village area, the helpless, the poor senior citizens are given allowance from the government by the union council from each village, from each ward. And last of all, allowance for destitute widows and separated women. Destitute widows and separate women left off by their husband came under this coverage. There is no age bar to it. As a result, maximum receive of the benefit are aged women. That is, in this way, our government, gives three kinds of financial facilities for the senior citizen. One is the pension allowance, second is the allowance from union council or city corporation, and third is the allowance for destitute and divorced or separated women. Dear students, these are the welfare programs for the senior citizens. So you study regularly. In the next class, I will discuss women rights and situation of women in Bangladesh along with their rights. There is a homework for you. Look at the homework. What programs can be taken for the welfare of senior citizen in Bangladesh? What programs can be taken for the welfare of the senior citizens in Bangladesh? You have to complete the homework, and you have to submit the homework in written form after the vacation. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.